name is Bobby. I'm from Decotech. We're the crew that installed the projector system. The projector system is actually made from Extron. So for Decotech, Extron is actually the manufacturer of the system. First thing I want to do is just kind of skim over all the components that each room is getting. Everyone has the same components, but it's located different places. You guys probably already checked out your rooms. Most of you saw this. It could be either located here, other side of the room, but you guys all have a light screen, these two boxes, and a projector. Depending on what kind of room you had, whether the ceiling was high or low, sometimes you'd have a 7-foot screen or an 8-foot screen, or sometimes the projector was closer, right about here. So I'm gonna quickly skim over all the parts, and then we're gonna go back into each part more in depth, all right? So this is the input box. This is, everybody has one of these. It's probably empty right now. Basically, all your devices are going to be plugged into here. Whatever you got, your PC, your laptop, DVD player, iPad, iPod, whatever you got, it plugs into here. This is the controller. This has all the shiny lights. This is basically the brains of the whole system. You turn the projector on through here, and you switch inputs through here too. So everyone, you got those two components. It's probably located very close to your desk. And then everyone's got one of these. This is an IR sensor. It has an amber light. It turns green when it's connected, and everyone says it looks like a camera, but you can tell your kids that. And of course, the projector and the light screen. Okay. We're going to go ahead and turn the system on. So I got two buttons here. When I turn the projector on, I'm going to actually project on my laptop, and you should be able to see this bigger from my laptop. So when I hit the on button, the on light actually flashes. It's going to flash about 30 to 40 seconds. Most of you people already have projectors in your room, so you guys know that when you turn the projector on, it has to warm up, and then when you turn it off, it has to cool down. You can't just unplug the power, it kills the lamp. So it's going to flash for about 40 seconds, and once it stops, it's going to stay solid. And we just got to wait for it. Yeah, there it goes. Then after that, I can switch inputs. And there should be my PC. We're going to turn off one of the lights. Yeah, is that better? So this is just a close-up of what I got right here. So everyone's going to have one of these. There's two buttons over to the left, on and off, turns the projector on and off. You have a volume control right here, which is this knob. As you turn it up and down, the green light is going to move up and down with you. And you have 4 buttons for each one of these inputs. You have an arrow actually going to each input and what it represents. So does that make sense? There's 4 buttons. This would be button 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are actually Ethernet jacks. This is just to get out to the internet. So if you, a lot of you guys have laptops, you just plug your laptop into here. So, any questions so far? All right. So we're going to quickly go over the type of cables that you plug into this. Most of you guys are going to already know this, but I still like to cover it. So this is a VGA cable. This is what 90% of all the computers in this campus are going to plug into. They're mostly blue and black, just like this one. The other one is an HDMI cable. We're not using this yet, but this is how you would run Blu-ray. So our system actually has a HDMI port, but in general, we're not using it yet. But later on, 5 years down the road, if you do want to use Blu-ray, it's there. And then most of our DVD players are going to be using this cable. This is actually called a composite cable. Most of you guys already seen it before, just didn't know what it was called. Composite, video, RCA, whatever you want to call it. That's this cable. And so we're going to go back over here. So right now, my laptop is actually plugged into input number 2, which is a VGA port. So this one right here. And then I'm on input number 2 right here. Does that make sense to everyone? I actually have a DVD player running right now. Oh, another thing is, input 2 and 3, these two right here are being used, so they're green right now. This one's actually red because there's no input going into it. So if I unplug this, it turns red. So that's just how you know there's, a lot of the laptops have a function where you can actually turn projecting on and off. That's on, that's off. So sometimes if you do plug your laptop into there, you actually have to hit a certain function to get it to project out through there. Just shoot. Okay, so we actually have a DVD player running right now. So to switch to the DVD player, actually, it's already playing. So and there you go. So I don't know what this is. So any questions so far? Does that kind of make sense? I have two inputs going right now, so I can switch between them. If I switch to an input that doesn't have anything on it at the moment, like say this HDMI one right here, it's just going to go to a blue screen. And people actually like that. You can actually switch to a blue screen if you want to do something on your computer and you don't want the kids to see. So you can do that.
So, okay, I'm a little dense on this one. I need to get my DVD player over in that corner then, don't I?
Somewhere close. It needs to be plugged in here. Every device that you have needs to plug in here somehow, whether it's a HDMI cable or composite cable.
Right.
It probably is a composite cable. And same thing goes for computers. This person actually has a raceway right here. Probably you guys are going to get something similar or already have something similar. So yeah, your device needs to be near this. Okay, so next thing I want to show you is, question?
Well, are we going to get new VGA cables for that? Because I have mine connected out and the VGA cables are that long, but I was told to let out.
There will be some, yeah. And what's going to happen is that Terry's going to have all the equipment. I may be jumping the gun here in conversation, but Terry's going to have equipment, and she's going to work with you to figure out what types of cables you need. And I have right now a limited assortment of extra long cables. I have a lot of 6 feet cables, and then as we need them, we'll get the really long ones if we need to accommodate equipment that's far away from the game boxes.
Okay, great, thanks.
So everyone's kind of clear on how to switch the inputs. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to go back to the PC. You can only have one input going at one time. It's basically like a TV. Same thing goes for audio. So I'm going to actually show you how to use a microphone. So this is a microphone. Most of you guys, I think you guys are going to be checking these out from the library.
From Terry.
From Terry, okay. So the microphone actually goes around your neck like this. I'm not going to put it on right now, but there's an on switch. It needs to be off in order to charge, okay? It's a really big thing. If you turn it on and plug into the wall, it's not going to charge. So turn it off. When I turn it on, that's an IR sensor, so that means line of sight. It turns green to tell me that I'm connected. So this is just a voice amplification system. Can you guys hear me through the speakers? All right, so you notice how it's stained green. If I walk around the classroom, generally that thing's going to be in the middle of your classroom. If you are in a science room, it might be a little bit more towards the back because this thing only reaches about 30 feet, but it's somewhere in the middle. If I cover up the microphone, it will turn amber to tell me that I've disconnected. So it's line of sight. It works pretty well if you turn around. If I turn around like this, it should still kind of connect. But if it loses sight for a long period of time, it will disconnect. Which this whiteboard actually will reflect my my signal. So maybe if I walk over here in the corner. No, it's actually staying connected. All right. So cool. Everyone on line of sight. That's really important. All right. This one's actually pretty close to me, so it works a lot better. If you're in a science classroom, it's going to be further back, so it might not work as well. Another cool thing I want to show you is, so I have the DVD player going. So if I talk through the microphone, the DVD player audio will actually lower. If I stop talking, it should raise.
The theft of we were worried earlier that perhaps the whole of the trench.
Hello.
board was designed to keep your feet out of the water.
One thing you want to be careful of is if the audio is playing too loud and you have your microphone near the speaker, the audio from the speaker is actually going here, and you're going to hear a bad screech. It's just feedback. So you'll notice it. So just be careful of that. Also be careful if you leave this on and put it on the table, and some kids are talking or you have audio playing through it, sometimes people forget to turn this off. So if you do notice that your audio is going up and down, like turning off and on, it's probably because this is on.
Is it charging as soon as you turn it off?
No,
You have to put it in something.
you have to put in that adapter. So I don't know how that's going to work out. I think you're only going to be checked out in these. And then I guess they'll charge it wherever it's going.
How long does the charge last?
1 whole day. Usually you're not using it for a whole day, so it lasts more, but it's about 1 day. These are actually nickel cadmium batteries, so they charge a lot slower, not lithium ion. So they take overnight to charge. So, but it's actually just a regular AA battery. So if you did need to use it and say, for example, it wasn't charged, you could stick another battery in there and it should be fine. You can actually use any one of these in any classroom, but I think we're checking them out per room, so. You have another question?
Yeah, what are the features for the remote control that you guys were talking about? Is that for just the projector or for the entire Extron
The
system?
remote control that they gave you?
I don't know, a remote control that you mentioned.
I
Specifically
mentioned
a
remote
microphone?
controls would be checked out, because I thought
Oh,
there were remote controls.
Oh, there are remote controls, but are they being checked out?
They are being checked out. Terry's going to coordinate that with you. And the remote control primarily controls just the image on the screen.
Okay.
So it doesn't control the audio. It will do things like adjust the size of the display that
Okay.
you're seeing, or what are other things that they might do with a remote control?
Probably the most common thing is going to be freeze or mute.
Yeah,
So,
I actually,
those are the popular features. So if I have like a homework assignment going on, like say I wanted to use this. Oh yeah. She came prepared. So I hit freeze. The sensor is this way, so I gotta be over here. If I hit freeze, it should freeze it. So actually, I hit freeze on this, and basically what happens is whatever image is on here will stay on here, and I can go onto my laptop. My laptop was projecting it, and whatever, I can do whatever I want else on it. It'll just keep that image. And then I hit unfreeze, and
Okay. That's nice.
that's a pretty popular.
Yeah.
So you have like a homework assignment on there, you hit freeze, and then you can go on your mail or whatever you do. Blue is also, you're not supposed to actually, so I shouldn't say that. Blank is another popular one, but if you don't want to use blank, just hit another input. I usually do that. And if this is on for about, I think it's 2 minutes, it'll actually black out by itself. Okay, but make sure when you switch another input and it blacks out, you'll still hear the fan going, so make sure the projector's off when you leave the room. Otherwise, you're gonna waste the lamp hours of the bulb. So